You made a good
Oh,
point.
I didn't give you consent.
Okay. You're right, and I apologize.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is BJ.
What's up? It's Aleatha.
And this is another episode of Off the Record.
Yeah, we didn't do it for 2 weeks because BJ fell out of love with the show.
No, I about died one day, and then we took a week off, so
Okay,
no
whatever.
big deal.
Anyway, we're here now.
We are here. Guess what today is? I know we're not showing us till later.
Barbecue Fest Day.
Yeah, so I got my BBQ Fest shirt on. Can I tell on myself?
About what?
Like, so they only have so many red shirts.
Oh, yeah.
So I got 2.
Yeah. Cheater.
Cheater. I got
Common
2.
thief.
Yeah. I have paid my dues.
Right.
Festival.
Right.
I have been working this festival for probably 22 years or better.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've only been working it since a couple months ago, and I'm wore out. Just so y'all know, marketing on social media is a lot of work.
It is.
Time-consuming work.
What we had to do this year was take 6 months worth of marketing and compress it into 2 months.
Yeah.
And do it with less activities to promote because we weren't even sure we were going to be able to have it, those kind of things. So they had to reduce the calendar. Couldn't get as like a big a name of artists as they typically would.
Yeah.
But we still got like a great band Friday night, a great act Saturday afternoon. So a lot of still great things happening. It's just there had to be some reduction. You had to lose some things, but the fact that we're even going to be able to go outside without mask and enjoy food and singing and dancing and barbecue just tickles my soul.
People need it.
What else is going on in Aletha's world?
Well, I mean, I won Mom of the Year yesterday when I was sitting at work, and it hit me like a ton of bricks right there to my stomach when I realized that I missed the deadline.
For what?
For turning Hannah's pictures in for graduation to put on the slideshow. I ain't even told her, y'all.
Did you call to school?
Well, I messaged the lady that was in charge of it, and I told her the truth of it, that I had completely forgotten it. And she said, send them in, we'll see what we can do. So fingers crossed, you know.
Well, just let me know if I need to make a phone call or two. We got a whole slew of people that would make phone calls.
I know, because I'm not above having Brandon print out a 30 by 40 size photo, taking an easel and putting that right there in the corner of it, and make every other mom in there thinking they did not do enough.
We had an opportunity at Magic Mile Media to actually do a dance music video.
Well, y'all did. I didn't have nothing to do
Well,
with
No, I mean, Danny and I went, so I mean, I helped coordinate everything. It was like herding cats. Danny kind of did all the video and cinematography and the editing. But it was really cool because how many other, 10, I mean, there was actually one kid in there about 6 years old, but how many other 10, 11, 12, 18 seniors, there were 2 girls who were seniors, get to do a music video for their dance. I mean, I've never seen it before. And for us to be a part of something like that, it was kind of a special. It was really a tribute to 2020, looking at 2021. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was good. They released it yesterday. It's already got almost 1,000 views or so I'm really happy for them.
It was all right.
She only said that because she
I'm just kidding.
She knew that would push my
I'm
button.
just kidding.
Congrats. You succeeded.
I'm just kidding.
We had a conversation this morning about Disney. Christy is our resident feminist here, and she's always challenging us and giving us a new way of looking at things, right? And so she said that she's really big on, like, I'm a big hugger. Like,
me too.
I see you, I want to give you a hug.
It's a Southern thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But for Christy, it was like, you need consent to hug somebody or to touch somebody. So a while ago, I was at Kelsey. I was like, "Can I touch your hair?" And I was like, "But I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I'm still not touching." Oh, it was driving her nuts.
Yeah.
But the movie Snow White.
Well, not just Snow White. It's Disney in general.
Now, don't mess with my childhood, because we're gonna fight.
No. Well, I know how you are. I mean, we can talk about certain things like whether man really landed on the moon or not, and you can't even participate in these conversations because it's like the bedrock of your whole entire world. It's like telling you Santa Claus ain't real. when you start talking about certain things, like you can't even handle the idea of certain things being true, right? But it is true. Look, my little girl, when she was growing up,
did we land on the moon? Send me a text, 252-516-6311. Did we or did we not land on the moon? I say yes. And if you say no, you're wrong. But I want to know. 516-6311. All right, go ahead.
When my little girl was growing up, she watched Disney movies, of course, and all of that too. But there were things about them that kind of annoyed me, you know? And every one of them, the woman that is not married or doesn't have a boyfriend, she's always the damsel in distress. She always needs a man to save her and to be a hero. And the idea of a man being a hero in your life is not necessarily something I'm against. But the overall narrative, I think, was sending a wrong message to women. However, it was done in a time where that was the acceptable way of life. Things are different now, you know. And so we were talking about that, and I was pointing out that Frozen was the first Disney movie that was ever done where the hero was not a man that saved the day. It was the whatever her name was, I can't remember. Elsa and her sister were the ones who worked together and made everything right in the world. And so I just think it's interesting that people seem to have such an issue with saying those things about the Disney movies, but it really is true. Do you think men are better drivers than women?
So,
the Honorable B.J. Murphy searches his mind for the most diplomatic answer to that
that
question.
is correct.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do.
And you're editing your words.
I was.
Yeah.
Yep, to the point that I just decided to say nothing.
I don't know that I've really ever heard a man say that they didn't think women were worse at driving than they were.
All right, on the same topic, but we'll expand a little bit further.
Right.
A conversation that happened this week. We don't have a lot of context, but I remember making this point. The question in the office was about how do you feel about transgenders playing in the sport of their new identified gender.
Well, I'm against it.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but the question was, you know, if you were a man at birth and you decided to become a woman later in life, should you be able to compete in female-dominated sports?
No.
And so we had a person in the office. I'm not going to say who because it was just an interesting. We have those kind of conversations in our office a lot.
Yeah.
It's meant for the office, right?
Yeah.
It's just
open debate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's healthy.
Discussions. Yeah, sure.
And the initial response was, "Yes, I'm fine with it." And I said, "Well, let me play devil's advocate for a second."
Yeah.
LeBron James, who quite arguably is the best basketball player of
That's a lie, but go
this,
ahead.
No, of this decade, right? Of the last 15 years, well, Kobe, you throw Kobe in there, but he's the best basketball player today, right? If LeBron decided today that he wanted to identify as a female, would you let him play in the NBA? Or would you force him to go to the WNBA? So there's a couple things happening here. I'm going to dissect here in a second. So if you force him to go play in the WNBA, he's going to score 500 points a game.
Yeah.
Is that fair to the other females? Well, then the second part of that question is why do we even have a WNBA? Why did we as a society say, well, men should play in this league, women should play in this league? I suspect it's because there is an actual genetic change.
Sure, yeah.
So that my point to this person was, in sports, we try our best to create a level playing field and then let the best do what they do, which is why we have a lottery. The worst placed team this year is the first team to pick next year, right? There's a reason, because you want to try to balance it out so the league is even playing field as it possibly can. You know, the salary cap's included, but you don't want to take a man who says I'm now a woman and then put them playing against all women. I'm telling you, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Not historically, but generally speaking, right? Doesn't mean that if I decide to be a woman today that I'm going to be better at something.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean that. But if you take somebody like LeBron, you know, then it does change the whole thing.
Well, I didn't hear half of what you said because I got real bored. So we'll...
Oh my gosh! So what else is happening? What else is going on? Well, I did almost die recently.
Yeah, you did, and I'm so glad you guys were okay.
Like it was such. We were having a great day. It was fun, and we were messaging the team, "Oh, how cool this really is! A lot of fun." And then I messaged the team. I about died. I just about died. And my team, just like that, started laughing and cutting up. And I'm like, no, really.
No, but yeah, he's right. It's because all the messages that they had been sending in the video showing us what was going on was so, like, fun and silly and ridiculous, And, I mean, okay, so I have definitely, like, gone and had an experience, I don't know, to the McDonald's or something like that, and came back and been like, y'all, I almost died.
Yes, you have.
At the McDonald's, like, 5 minutes ago, right? I thought he was saying it like that. So when he first said it, I was like, oh, the drama. Here we go. So dramatic. Like, what did you do, trip? I mean, that's what we were thinking because that was the context of all the messages.
Right.
But so after a minute or two, we realized that that was not the case, that they actually really did.
So in short, what basically happened, we were filming this fire suppression foam, and we had a barrier. There was a barrier. We were behind the barrier. But what happened was, the foam overtook the barrier, and you're talking like soap bubbles. That's what it looks like, playful soap bubbles. But the reality is this foam is designed to suppress oxygen, to get rid of the oxygen.
Almost like cling.
Right, because it's designed to put out a fire.
Right.
Or to get up chemicals that are dangerous for the air and for you to breathe. But what ends up happening is the barrier got pushed back. It was a plastic barrier. We had nowhere to go. We really couldn't get in a lift because we had so much on us already. We were afraid we were going to slip. So Brandon and I tried to get out. We had about 20 or 30 feet to go. Halfway, so we took a deep breath and 12-foot high foam above us. Took a deep breath. Halfway through it, we had to take another breath, and then the foam was all over your face. And so you'd wipe it, and then you realize, well, I got to keep moving. And then I see the light shining through all these bubbles, so you think you're at the door, only to realize you're still going through more foam, and it was just all over my face. You're breathing it in, inhaling it, and so it was essentially suffocating us.
Yeah. And
we were a little disoriented, and we couldn't feel our way out of it because it's just foam. You didn't know when you were going to get air. And it was, for a few seconds, a very horrifying incident. We ended up going to the hospital just to get checked out.
Yeah.
Thankfully, everybody was okay. 3 of us went. But for a moment, honestly, for about 5-10 seconds, I thought I was a goner.
Yeah.
I really did. It was very scary. Had we slipped, hit our head. We've read some horror stories since then. There could have been much worse. So very thankful. Love the job opportunity. We'll do it again if given the opportunity. But we definitely learned a very valuable lesson about that stuff.
Anyway, so Barbecue Fest is this weekend, which is exciting because it really is starting to feel like we're coming to maybe at least being able to see a brighter light at the end of the COVID tunnel. Mm-hmm. Don't you think we are?
I think so. Hopefully the governor will lift our mask mandate here real soon.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Hopefully we won't get any more stimulus money. Because I'm afraid it might be killing me.
So actually, that was what I want to talk about as the off-the-record comment for today. I wrote a column fairly recently talking about how stimulus checks are the killer of the American dream. If you think about what we think about the American dream of coming from nothing, working your way up, overcoming incredible odds, whether that is maybe it was your race or maybe that was your gender, as we talked about earlier, or maybe that was the income of your family. I said before that the definition of financial education in my household growing up was don't answer the phone at dinner time. Well, what I said about the stimulus checks is that what's happening and why I'm so opposed to them, especially in the future, is I was opposed to them before. I cashed it because I didn't have another choice with it. But the reason why I'm opposed to it has everything to do with I believe that just by handing people money and saying, here, stimulate the economy, that it actually discourages the right behavior. So basically what's happening is if I say I'm going to give you $1,000, BJ, then I'm just going to take the $1,000, I'm going to spend it on a TV, or I'm going to go get a bunch of lottery tickets. I won't, but that's what people do, or TV, or I might save it or may pay down debt. but essentially it doesn't drive more work, more productivity happening. And right now we've got a shortage of rental houses. We've got a shortage of actual homes. 23,000 homes or units in Lenoir County, and there's only like 26 homes on the market right now. Staffing shortages. One of our favorite places to eat, Pizzavilla, they're going to close on Mondays because of staffing challenges. And I'm hearing about the number of people with staffing challenges. Why is there a staffing shortage? The market is still here spending money. We're working, but what is causing this? Shortage of gas, shortage of homes, shortage of staff. It's the same markets, the same people. And to me, the thing that's really had the biggest impact from COVID has been our utter dependence on the federal government to send us money made out of thin air and expecting the economy to recover because of it. I think it's a recipe for disaster, and I certainly hope that even though initiatives like paying off federal student loans or just wiping some of them out may sound good on paper, it's going to actually disincentivize somebody from actually going to work and then doing something that's healthy, which is paying back your debt. You learn some very valuable lessons doing that, and I really want to see the American people back to work. I want to see Pizzaville open 6 days a week, and Monday through Saturday, and not have to deal with staffing shortages, which I think are caused in part by the federal government killing the American dream through stimulus checks. Aleatha, a lot of fun. We did not have a guest today, but we said, you know what? That's okay.
Yeah, I don't really like a lot of people anyway, so it's fine.
Have you ever considered how people feel about you?
Don't care. You get over all that after you turn 40.
Is that right? Is that what happens?
Yeah, you're four and a half years behind me, but trust me.
Well, yeah, I'll be 41 this fall. In fact, last year for my 40th birthday, we did a team party at Ironclad. Did something upstairs. Took the family, I think, out of town, but I wanted to go to Las Vegas. That was I had 3 things I wanted to do, but so I'm hoping to be able to do that again soon. Las Vegas is one of those towns I really enjoy visiting. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, never been. Maybe one day I'll go.
You need to. I think I've gone 5 or 6 times. It's a really cool place. I've been there more so than any other city I've visited. I really enjoy it. It's a really cool place. And you get to see the Hoover Dam and eat a damn dog. I mean, it's kind of cool.
Okay, BJ.
I just had to say that.
I know.
Yeah.
Living on the edge,
right,
are we?
I am. Conservative old me. All right, until next time, I'm BJ.
I'm Aleatha.
And this is Off the Record. Thank you.
Y'all be good.